Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. Crayfish and welcome back to another redstone tutorial. In this tutorial today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to build this realistic brewing contraption. So I came up with this idea myself and I was thinking, why don't I do more of a traditional way of creating potions? Because you think about it, a witch uses a cauldron, mixes all the ingredients together and then scoops it out into a bottle for someone to drink and potentially get a curse on them. So what I've done today is I've made that. So we've got our cauldron here, and what we have to do first is place in our water bottles down into here. And then we're going to go ahead and throw in a nether wart into this cauldron here. And now it is starting to cook. Now there will be a sound once it's done. And there we go, we heard a little sound there, and that means that the brewing is complete. And then we're going to chuck in our second ingredient. And there we go, the brewing is done. Now we can retrieve our potions by pressing this button. And there we go, we've got our 3 potions of strength. Now this is just really for fun. It's not the most efficient way, but if you're on a server and you want to do something a little bit cool and a little bit more hipster, I would say, this would be something you would create. Now I'm going to show you how to build it. So what you're going to need is 11 redstone dust, 3 redstone repeaters, 1 redstone comparator, 3 droppers, 1 sticky piston, 1 block of redstone, 3 hoppers, 1 wooden button, 1 brewing stand, 1 cauldron, 1 slab of your choice. I've just gotten a stone one, doesn't really matter. And last but not least, 64 blocks of your choice. So the first thing that we are going to do is build the item elevator for the potions. So all we simply have to do is dig down 3 blocks. And then you want to place these 3 droppers on top of each other. So make sure you're crouching when you place them down. So you jump, place 1, 2, 3. Then to the right, what we're going to do is dig out 3 blocks. And then dig this down 2 more times. Get your redstone comparator, and we're going to place it next to this bottom dropper here, facing away. Then redstone repeater, and then normal redstone dust at the end. On this left wall here, what we're going to do is dig out these 3 blocks. Dig the 3 under it as well. And then the 3 at the bottom. We're going to dig this block at the bottom here. Leave 1 block and then dig the one above it. In these 2 gaps here, place redstone dust. Get your block of choice, and then we're going to place it in front of these gaps so we can't see that redstone anymore. And then place a piece of redstone dust in between these 2 blocks. At the end here, we're going to place 1 piece of redstone dust like that, and then a redstone repeater going into this block. We're going to place a block above this redstone repeater. And then to the left of it, we're going to get our slab and place it on the top half of that block. Redstone on top of the slab, and then our last redstone repeater into this block here. Now we're going to come back to the top. And what you want to do is behind the droppers, we're going to dig 3 blocks down. We're going to get one of our hoppers here, and what you want to do is make sure the funnel is going into this bottom dropper here. So just crouch and then right click this face while you're jumping. So jump, right click it, and then the funnel should be facing into it. Then we're going to place our brewing stand on top of this hopper. So again, make sure you're crouching when you place it, and then 1 hopper on top of the brewing stand, and this is for the ingredients to go through. Now to the left of this hopper here, what we're going to do is dig down 2 blocks, and this is where our bottles and blaze powder will go into the brewing stand. So make sure that you right click the side of this collision block here. It's hard to see the outline, but if you just move it slightly over there, you can see it. So what you want to do is you just want to hold crouch and then right click the side of the block there, and the funnel should be facing into the brewing stand now. Now to the right of the hopper, what we're going to do is we're going to dig down 1, 2, 3, and 4. get your sticky piston, and what you want to do is place it in line with the brewing stand here facing downwards. And then what we're going to do is just dig a hole out here just so it can get out. And then under it we're going to place a block of redstone. Now make sure that you leave a gap under here so when the piston, it will, just so it allows the piston to actually extend. If not, it won't work at all. Now you can fill this hole in here. And then last but not least, what we've got to do is place a block just above the piston there, put our button on the top face. Now if you are using Xbox or something like that, you can actually, instead of putting the button there, just like break the side of here and then put the button there, because I don't think you can put the button on the ground yet. Now come to the behind here, and what we're going to do is dig out the block just behind the block the button is on. So dig that out, then we're going to dig one more, but dig this down 2 deep. Then we're going to come to the left here, dig that down 2, do another one 2 deep again, and then come back 1 2 deep, and then place your 5 redstone at the bottom. And then this is going to power this hopper here, so it basically stops the bottles from going in until all the ones that are on it are out. And last but not least, place your cauldron on top of this hopper here. So crouch, right click. Now I can go ahead and cover this up now. And then for here, simply just place that there, and then this is where you would put your wall to wherever you're building it. Now if you can finish the construction, what we've got to do now is set it up. So you simply just want to get a water bucket, you want to fill up the cauldron, and then place a water source in this hole here, just because we want to keep that aesthetics of this brewing, kind of like realistic brewing. So you don't want to use the water from the cauldron, we're just going to use this water from the water source to refill our bottles. And then if you're using 1.9, now you've got to actually use blaze powder, so you'd want to just chuck 64 into there, and then that is going to all go into the potion stand underneath. If you're using a lower version, because this will still work even before 1.9, you won't have to put the blaze powder in here, you'll just have to chuck your bottles in, and that is it. So what we're going to do now is just get our water bottles, so 3 of them, chuck them in there, and then it's already gone in actually, that's pretty good. And now it is ready to be used. Now it's that part in the tutorial where I tell you guys how this actually works. So if we just go ahead, I'm just going to break this open again. So firstly, the items will get sucked in by this hopper underneath the cauldron here, and they will basically go into the brewing stand below, and that will just do its normal thing. So you have your bottles in there, the ingredient goes in, it's going to start brewing away. But once it's done, basically to release the potions from the brewing stand, we press this button here, and what this does is this redstone block here is powering the hopper that's under the brewing stand, so it basically stops them from being pulled out. But when we press that button, this extends, and that allows the bottles to actually be pulled out, and then those bottles get placed into this dropper here. And because we've got a comparator here, this will check if there's any items inside the dropper, and if there is, we're going to send out a signal, and then this is going to power all these droppers here. So when a item is put into here, it's going to send out a signal, power all these droppers, and basically it's going to do a chain of basically dispensing here. So when the item's in there, it's going to get dispensed through all of these droppers, and then it's going to come out the top here. And then this redstone at the back here, when we press the button, gets powered on, and this basically, and this powers the hopper that's down here. So we want to make sure that no bottles are able to go into the brewing stand until all the bottles that have been brewed are out. So that's going to wrap up this tutorial today. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any ideas for redstone tutorials and you want me to try and come up with something, let me know in the comments. And also subscribe if you want to see more of these. And I will see you guys later. Bye bye.